everyone, my name is Elle. Welcome. First things first, this is a wig, just like in pretty much every other video, and my headbands have not gone anywhere. In case you are one of those people who don't like them and you're thinking, yay, they're gone. They're not gone. They're just taking a vacation. Anyway, this is my white whale makeup wish list. So I've seen white whale wish lists floating around a little bit on the internet, most notably in reference to makeup on Reddit. I've seen threads over the last couple of years talking about those white whale items. So for those of you who may be unfamiliar with the phrase, it directly refers to Moby Dick. So the character Captain Ahab is obsessed with catching the white whale, Moby Dick. And so he's chasing him and ultimately he never gets him. So to say something is your white whale is to say it's something that you obsess over and you are constantly chasing, but you may very well never catch. So I have a couple of those items when it comes to makeup, things that I haven't discovered yet and things that I'm still hunting for, and it's probably why I've gone through so many products, because I just can't find the things that work for me. So the very first thing for me would be a liquid eyeliner. I have tried quite a few and I've really determined that I like the pen style liners. I find them really comfortable to hold. I find them easy to use in theory. Now, I do need more practice, I can admit that, but there's little flaws in the packaging and the formulas of these various eyeliners that I've used. Some of them have been too light, some of them have been too watery, some of them it has to do with the packaging, the little pen tip itself is too wide, sometimes it's too scratchy. The closest I've found has to be the Kat Von D tattoo liner, although I find that that felt tip pen can get a little bit scratchy and I wish that it was a little bit finer because I have really small eyelids, and if I have too thick of an eyeliner tip, then I get too much product out there and the wing ends up being too big. And I don't have a lot of space to work with. I need a really tiny, precise tip on that liner for me. That's what I think would work best for me. So I'm still hunting, I'm still trying new things, and I'm hoping I'll find the right combination of product and packaging. Number 2 on my list is concealer, and it's actually 3 different types of concealer. The first type being a stick concealer. I like those ones that look like the old school lipstick packaging that you can kind of twist up. I like that kind of concealer on certain spots of my face. I tend to conceal 3 different parts of my face, and I found a pretty good under eye concealer for me. The Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer seems to be the thing that's working the best for me and the thing I think I'm probably going to end up sticking with. But I do have occasional acne scarring on my face because I'm a picker. So whenever I break out, I always pick, and it ends up turning into scars, which I end up having to cover. It is a really bad habit of mine, but I pick every scab I ever get. And so I need to cover it up. And I find those little stick concealers work really well, and also for covering active blemishes to a point. So I need something that matches my skin tone correctly and it's not too stiff. The problem I have, it tends to be one or the other. If I happen to be able to find something that matches my skin, the concealer formula tends to be too stiff, so I can't get it to blend in. It's like trying to rub a crayon on your face sometimes and you're not even getting any pigment off at all. If anything, it's just wiping things away. And if it is a good formula, it tends to be too dark or too yellow for my skin. So I'm struggling trying to find something that matches, that works and hits all of the things that I want it to hit. I'm also seeking a concealer that comes in a tub or a little pot. I like those because they tend to be creamier, so it's somewhere in between the stick and the liquid that I would use underneath my eyes, and usually I would use a concealer like that on my forehead. So right now it's covered by my lovely bangs, thankfully, but I have a large patch of psoriasis on my forehead. It's very visible. If you've watched any of my Get Ready With Me, stuff like that, where I'm not already starting with foundation, you can clearly see the red spots on my forehead, and that's psoriasis, and it goes back and forth. So I like to use that more cream formula on that spot because I find the stick doesn't work as well, and I find that the liquid concealer is too light and too brightening for what I need to hide. And sometimes I find that that more cream-based concealer is much better for like pinpoint concealing. If I have little blemishes that are hard to cover, I find that that sort of formula usually works well for me. I also like to use that formula to carve out my eyebrows when I choose to go that route, which isn't very often. It's sad, I actually spent a lot of time on my eyebrows today and I'm covering them with my bags, so it takes way too long and I usually can't be bothered, but that's what I like to use that sort of style concealer for. The third type of concealer is a green concealer, and I desperately need to color correct certain spots on my face. I use an under eye corrector and I will use a green color corrector on really red spots on my face, which normally includes that spot on my forehead. It's the only thing that works because foundation and concealer alone cannot completely cover the redness. So I am very strategic with color correcting, but I'm still seeking something that works really well for covering that spot. Now, I'm still testing it, but it's very expensive. My sister sent me a big box of stuff she was decluttering, and she sent me a green color corrector from YSL. And it's working for me right now, and I hate that it's working for me. It's a liquidy concealer, but it's working for that spot, so I don't know. I've tried a few different types. I've tried the sticks, I've tried pots, I've tried other liquids, I've tried crayons, I've been trying all kinds of different green color correctors. Nothing has worked for me as well as that one has. But I have a hunch that the green color corrector from Urban Decay might work well for me too, so I think I might try that one, but I've gone through a lot trying to find a green color corrector that will work for me and what my needs are. Third thing is a wet looking natural highlighter. I love that wet effect. I see so many people with the like gorgeous glowing skin. It looks so natural. It's not glittery, it's not sparkly. Now I love glittery and sparkly highlights. I love duochrome highlights. I love all those weird reflective things, but sometimes I want just something that looks natural on my skin, and I haven't found anything that works for me because the things that tend to give that sort of natural wet looking sheen tend to be too golden for my skin tone. The closest thing I found is the Natasha Denona Glow. This is like the face and body highlighter. You can see how much I love it. This is the closest thing I've found. It's just that when I build it up, it's too noticeable on my skin. I need something just a little bit lighter, and it's hard to find something that's a lighter highlighter that's not a duochrome weird iridescent shade or like pure white, which is just too much for looking natural. Fourth thing is colorful matte eyeliners. Emphasis on matte. I have found so many good colorful eyeliners that have glitter in them. No, I want really bright, colorful, bold eyeliners that have no glitter whatsoever, totally matte. I want to wear them in my waterline. I just want to smudge them all over my eye area and use them as bases, and I haven't been able to find anything that works well for me. The eyeliners tend to be too hard. So you can swatch them on the back of your hand and they look gorgeous, but you can use a lot more pressure on your hand than you can on your waterline on your eye. So the problem I tend to run into is that I just can't get the pressure, I can't get the product payoff on my eye itself with some of these colorful eyeliners. Sometimes it's the opposite problem and they're so creamy that they start to like break apart and you end up getting clumps of the eyeliner like in your eye or like underneath your eye, and it ends up being a huge mess and almost impossible to clean up when you've got like bright yellow clumps there and you're trying to clean up your eye makeup. I feel like this is one of those things that I will be searching for a long time because I don't think that there's a whole lot of colorful eyeliners out there that are matte. If you guys have any recommendations, that goes for any of these things I'm talking about. If you think you may know something that might work for me, please, please let me know because this is the never-ending search. The fifth thing is a natural brow bone highlight. So kind of going back to the face highlighter, I want that really wet looking sheen on my face. I want a very natural looking brow bone highlight. Nothing that's too sparkly, too shimmery, too white, nothing that's too gold. I haven't been able to find something that really highlights the brow bone area naturally. Everything tends to be too light or too dark. I can't find a shade that works really well for me. I don't want it to be super noticeable, bright white, like Pearl from Becca kind of highlight. Some of the like MAC shadows I would see used in those OG tutorials that beauty gurus used are too dark for me. I can't get them to look like a highlight, you know, it just doesn't brighten up that under eye area enough. So I'm struggling trying to find something that looks natural, because I tend to use then my face highlight or something very duochromatic. So like the same sort of thing I'd use on my face, I would use on my brow bone, and it just doesn't work with every single look. Sometimes I don't want something weird on my brow bone. I want something just natural, something that will not take away focus from whatever else I'm doing, and I have not been able to find that yet. And the very last product I am searching for is a lip liner that is close to my skin tone. I love seeing the combination of a really dark smoky eye and a totally nude lip, usually paired with lip gloss. I love that look, and I can't find anything that blanks out my lips enough. I found a few things that are close. I recently got this lip liner from my sister as well. It's a Bite Lip Pencil 020. This is the closest thing I have found yet. So this is just a very messy swatch. This is the closest thing I've found. It's just a little bit too pink. I just want something that's a little bit more brown. I want light pinkish brown, just very, very pale, because I just want to be able to have that completely blank canvas, and then I can put pretty lip gloss and have that sparkly gloss on top, but just have that really dark, like brown or black smoky eye. And I'm just crazy about that kind of look, and I just need to find that lip liner that's light enough to achieve that, because I can't really do the concealer lip, because you can't really put gloss on top of concealer. I have tried in moments of desperation when I just really wanted to recreate that sort of vibe. I haven't been able to achieve it with anything yet. Gotten close, but not close enough. Anyway, that is my White Whale makeup wish list as it stands right now. I would love to hear any recommendations or thoughts you may have. If you have any ideas or you could point me in a direction, I would be very grateful, and I would love to hear what products are on your White Whale wish list. What products do you wish existed? And maybe I know something and I can help you out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.